Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend at a party with Leo DiCaprio. Jeff Bezos is, okay. Then you have Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend or Jeff Bezos' girlfriend flirting. If you want to find out the dynamics of this and what a man with bad intentions would possibly do in this situation, stay tuned. This topic of this called respecting another man when addressing his woman. Man code is only a disrespectful man will actually engage with a man's woman and maintain that engagement and not include the man in it. This is not a good thing. And so I would say, ladies, beware. And if a man approaches you with your man, even if he's a friend, he should always keep your man in his viewpoint. He should not let him be out of the picture or out of the conversation for a little bit, just basically to show him respect, show him that he's not a threat to him or your relationship. If he does not show your man this respect, let's just say if he doesn't show your man this type of respect, you really should consider this guy a devious guy. Okay. To avoid this, you should always, if the guy who's approaching does not keep your man in a relationship, which is a good sign, then you have the responsibility of keeping your man in the conversation. Okay, it should never be between you and this other guy. That's disrespectful on your part. If you don't, the man might consider you basically as possibly trying to step out on, to be frankly honest with you. Or you're giving, or it's just plain simply, you're giving another man the respect you should be giving your husband or your man. At this point, it could end your relationship if you're not careful. So this hopefully will help you get out of that situation. If you do not particularly reject your man, this could actually invite the other guy into a relationship with you. Now, if that's what you want, there's a whole lot of other consequences that come along with that, but that's you. But if you don't, it's very important that you understand what I'm trying to tell you right now in this particular video. Your man, if you don't reject this other guy, could actually end your relationship. It could also invite him to actually flirt with you and pursue you if you're not careful. And if you are willing to get in front of your man and then give another man more attention or respect than your man, you're really hurting your relationship and yourself, and you're inviting trouble. If, let's just say, you don't understand this and you miss it, spare it a moment. You must, if a devious guy, he may actually come back and try, actually he will more than likely come back and try to pursue you. You must not entertain this guy at all. If you do, any little breadcrumbs that you leave for this guy, he is going to continue to pursue you. So you must be clear and distinct. Cut this dude off and then tell your husband or your man about it so he knows about it, and then he can intervene if the issue comes up again. But basically what you want to do is you want to always stay under your man's protection, okay, whether he's there or not. And if you maintain that level of respect for your man when he's there and when he's not, you're gonna do so much good for your relationship. But if you don't do it, you're doing more harm than good. Some ways to look at this is to consider this type of situation a test. Really, it's a test of your relationship. More so, it's a test of you. Because if you don't pass this test, maybe you don't need to be in a relationship. Okay? So, the opposing man is really just a predator. He's after you, and the destruction of your relationship is really just a casualty of war. The man is probably more interested in feeding his ego than anything else. A kept woman or a woman in a relationship is really just a game, in my opinion. And he has no real interest in you. He just wants to see if he can get you to break your promise to the man you're supposed to be with. Women that break their commitments are probably the reason why he is not in a committed relationship, because he can't trust any woman. Because if you prove his fear, he will never be in a relationship with a woman. Because there are women out there that will actually entertain this type of man, and you're actually helping to hurt other women and other relationships by entertaining him. And if that's what you want to do, that's you. But it affects more than just you. Getting a woman to disrespect her man to his face is a real big ego booster to another man. If your man is sitting right here and you're right here with him, and you got another man, and you as a woman are giving that man more attention, more respect than you are your man, oh, he is loving that stuff. That is the ultimate ego booster right there. Is to make a woman disrespect her own life, her own relationship. So it actually shows that your man has more power over you. It shows that this man, a random man, a man that's not even committed to you, has more influence and power over you than the man you say you're supposed to love. And if you really think about it, that is a really embarrassing situation to be in, because he is really going to make you look like a fool, big time. So my advice to you is to pass the test, because you're nothing more than a trophy to this guy. I think it's rare situations where a guy really wants to be with you because he's really interested in you. More so, it's probably because he's just trying to feed his own ego, and you're the willing participant. And he'll rock your world as long as he can milk you. And then once he you destroy your relationship. Actually, you're going to destroy your relationship. You probably going to run to him because you think you love him, because he's doing all this stuff to sneak around and get you. But he ain't going to love you. He just going to leave you because he probably got 5 other women doing the exact same thing you are. But you're the one to pay for it by destroying your own relationship. And possibly other women as well. So the best thing for you to do is really just to reject him. Every time a woman rejects him, it really changes his mind and breaks his confidence. It actually probably brings him back down to earth. So you're probably doing him more good than you think you are. But of course, he's probably the prettiest man alive, and he can probably throw you down, work you out pretty good too. But hey, it's up to you. Fantasies are called fantasies for a reason. Now, your man's reaction depends on his temperament, and I don't have all the man's temperaments and stuff like that. I'm only going to list 3, and but I'll say this: every man is going to react in some way. Even the nicest guy is going to react. He'll probably make you pay for it, but you might never know it, and that's scary. And that's the nice part of it. Now, you can have an aggressive man. He may not even let you talk to the guy. This is a situation where Let's just say you have this predator guy. He comes up to you and your husband. He's engaging you. He's trying to become in between you and your husband or your man. And this is what your man, if he's an aggressive man, would do in reaction to him. Now, he may not even let you talk. He might even let you talk to him or him talk to you. He may push you behind him. He could cut the conversation short. He may threaten the man, or he may threaten you. He could also beat you if he's that type of guy, or he could actually beat the man, depending on the situation. But those are some reactions that could possibly occur. The quiet guy, he may see how you respond, and he probably going to lose trust for you. The problem is he may never tell you. So if he don't never tell you he's lost trust, you'll never have the ability to regain it, depending on what the situation is. So it's kind of like a quiet destruction in a relationship, which is something you really don't want to do because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Other men, they might just automatically leave the relationship, and some of them may passively aggressively retaliate, meaning you may not even know that they're doing something or withholding something from you because of that particular situation. So tread lightly. Knowing your man and the status of your relationship is really important in this situation. But if you're always going to be respectful to your man, you can avoid this in the first place. And actually, it'll probably help you out. Let's just say you had an argument and with your man before this situation occurred. You standing up for your man and making sure the other guy respects your man actually will gain you good points with your man, especially if he doesn't trust you right now. The more you do to gain trust, which is to reject other men, the better it's going to be for you. And that's for any man in general. You stand up for your man, that's probably pretty sexy to him, okay? But that's just me. You should also do this when he's around and when he's not. Another aspect I'm going to talk about is called the work husband. And I know a lot of people like this term, work husband, work wife, all this garbage, but to me that's one of the worst things you can do in any type of relationship. One, it's a play on words. Two, sometimes words become reality. Actually, if you believe in God, words do become reality. So, life and death is in the tongue. But all you Christian people, I'm telling you, dangerous thing. But in general, having anything close to a work husband is really bad for most men, I think. I don't care if your man is quiet. I don't care if he's aggressive, alpha, beta, whatever he is. This is something you shouldn't be entertaining, okay, for yourself as well as for him. The dangerous part of it is implication of a relationship that you should not entertain. If the man that you are calling your work husband is okay with it, one day he actually might get it confused and think he is your husband and try to pursue you. All right, so that's whether he's married or not. So just be aware. Don't entertain men with flirting or any other type signs of interest. If you're working, you should keep it professional. Don't do all this work husband, work wife stuff. But like I said, that's my opinion. You do what you do. You suffer whatever consequences or whatever else you get out of it. If you do have a woman, let's just say you do have a man who's okay with it. He might actually have a work wife, and that's up to you. Let's see. Also, I just wanted to say that if you wonder why some men have an issue with women working, having work husbands, work wives, that is part of it, because you have really a built-in commonality with the person that you work with. And so, usually in relationships, having something in common actually helps you get into a relationship. And so, having that in common can actually cause it could be an area of concern for people, men who are willing to be in a relationship with you. So, the more respectful you are in front of your man, and as well as when he can't see you, the better things are going to be, especially if you're trying to build trust. So, just be aware of this. Always keep your husband or your man in the conversation. If anything, always include him in the conversation. And if the guy does not include your man in the conversation, know that that is a bad sign, and you should be aware of that. Be cautious of that person, because that person can lure you into something that you don't need to be into. Some people might say this is about insecurity, a man being insecure. You could say that, but to me, no. It's really about respect. Respect has to be kept in a relationship, especially with men. And if you don't respect your man, your relationship is going to be over pretty soon. All right, that's just point blank, plain and simple. But that's up to you. It just seems like a lot of women are not very knowing about this type of interaction between men, and that men will challenge other men for their position as well as their woman, and they will play with the woman just to mess with the man. So you could just be a ploy in a particular man's desire to do conquest or to humiliate other men. So my advice to you, if you choose to follow it, is to don't get yourself in that game, because it can be very, very, very dangerous. And just because you think you know your man, you don't know half of him. Hey, hope this helps. This has been When Nice Guys Retaliate, and I hope you have a good one.